My AI agency does over 250,000 per month, every single month. And today I'm going to show you how we onboard and also manage over 200 active done for you clients at our agency. I'm going to be diving into the one-on-one support elements and the client success element of the business, because that is one of the biggest reasons why our churn rates is one of the lowest, if not the lowest, in the agencies game in this niche that we work in, which is real estate agents. And our retention rate is really high. Our average agent stays with us over 20 months as of right now at the time of recording this. So I'm just going to be showing you guys how we onboard and manage our clients when it comes to our calls, what type of calls we have with clients, when do we have those calls, all that stuff when it comes to first months, and then ongoing calls, as well as I'm going to be showing a couple different systems or one specific system when it comes to managing our clients, how we do it during the onboarding and the day-to-day. That being said, let me jump onto my screen and show you guys around. So first of all, let's dive into the whole concept of the one-on-one support that we have here, and how pretty much all of this works. So basically, one-on-one support is one of the things that we do. So we do like our agency does done for you work for our clients, and then we also have done with you elements, some of the coaching and that stuff when it comes to the lead conversion. But then also we have one-on-one support. So we have one-on-one client success managers working with our clients on a monthly basis. Now, one thing that we actually did last year is we took, so we used to have client success manager who does onboarding, day-to-day and offboarding. Now we have two separate roles. We have an onboarding specialist who focuses on the onboarding in the first month really, and then we have a CSM who does all the day-to-day, the coaching, the support, and all that stuff, and then also the offboarding elements. And then we have admins who help with the the admin stuff when it comes to all of that. And support people who help with the campaign build outs, all that stuff, plus then obviously media buyers and all those different things that handle all other departments of the agency, right? But right now we're going to be focusing on the one-on-one support when it comes to the OS, aka onboarding specialist, and then CSM, which is the client success manager. So here's how our one-on-one support works in a nutshell. So when a client comes in, the same day we have a welcome call. So we call the clients right away when they come in to congratulate them and get them join our agents, or like congratulate them about joining the family, joining the agency, and make sure that they know the next steps, right? Then we have all the communication basically on top of the calls happens through SMS and email communication, and then internally we have a ClickUp chats that we use, right? We don't use Slack anymore. We use ClickUp chats, and then we have a ClickUp projects and all those different things and for task management and different projects. Then from there we have our group onboarding workshop that happens every Monday on our end, 11 a.m. Eastern. So basically all the clients who have signed up the previous week or earlier that day on Monday will be joining the group onboarding workshop, where we go through a bunch of expectation setting, showing how things work on our end, and also like when it comes to expectations, what they can expect from us, but also what we expect from them. And also we show them the best practices and how to actually get results, and then make sure that like they know the next steps, and we get them going, and all that stuff, right? We also use that to build authority to our team, and help the clients to really understand that in order to get results, they do have to do things on their end, right? So we go through pretty much everything on the group onboarding workshop. Then from there is we have a launch call, which happens pretty much the same day as the group onboarding workshop, or at latest on around Wednesday, depending if the client has already submitted their campaign surveys, and also if we have been able to build out all the campaigns and everything out for them, right? The goal for us is to have it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because on Mondays we have the group onboarding workshop. And we prefer to have the day before going live. That way everything is ready to go live. We can inform the media buyer, we can do all of that stuff, and then the media buyer can just go live the next morning. Awesome. And then after that, we have a 5 to 10 minute check-in phone call 1 week after going live. So our onboarding specialist calls the client about a week after going live and make sure that, everything is going fine, and replies all of their questions, also confirms that they have been able to schedule their first call with their CSM. And then if there's any, complaints or concerns or anything like that, the OS can help to handle those and then can help to inform the CSM. This is also a call where we look for upsell opportunities already. And the same thing actually here on the launch call, we'll look for upsell opportunities. So that's pretty much it when it comes to the onboarding calls. So as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 calls when it comes to our onboarding with the client of ours, okay? And then we also have our 5th call on the first month. So in the first month, we really have 5 calls with the clients, which 4 of those will be with the onboarding specialist, and then the 1 will be with the CSM of theirs, right? And that will be the first monthly one-on-one that we'll have with the client. Right, so every single month we have one-on-one call with every single client, and then depending on if the client is happy and performing, we continue with the monthly ones. But if there's any unhappiness, or they need extra help, or they're close to churning, then we may be scheduling weekly or bi-weekly check-in calls with the client to make sure that there's additional support and we can, handle any concerns, complaints, and all that stuff, and also help them to get more results. And that will also increase the relationship. And as we know, great results plus great relationship equals to great retention. So that's the whole point of the call. So we understand that some of the clients need more support, which then we want to provide that support to them, and then for the rest we're just going to continue with the monthly check-in calls. Now when it comes to the actual check-in calls, the main things that we do there when it comes to being a CSM on those calls, there's really 3 main focus areas. There's results, retention, and revenue, the way we look at it. When it comes to the great retention that I just said, is the great results plus great relationship equals to great retention. So the relationship aspect is included into all of these, but especially included into retention, as you'll soon see. Right. So when it comes to results, what that really means is that the CSM is coaching the clients, keeping them accountable and supporting them, and also getting them excited about the wins and all this stuff, and recognizing them of the good stuff that they're doing, and really that way helping them to get more and more results out of the leads appointments that we deliver for the clients. Right. Then the retention is really about renewals and churn management, and also just like building the relationship with the client. Right. So we're monitoring client satisfaction and all that stuff. We address any concerns before they escalate to any cancellation requests, and we just overall building strong relationships with the clients, and really just the way I like to think about it is like we becoming their friends in a nutshell, because it's really much harder to leave a friend than it is to leave a faceless company, right? So that's what the CSMs are doing, and that's something that we really good at. Okay. There's really 2 reasons why clients leave you. It's either because of the results that you're providing or not providing, and then it's either because of that, or it's because of the relationship, right? And when it comes to the which one of those happens more often, I mean, you can have great results, but clients will still leave you because of poor relationship. But if you have okay results and great relationship, it's much harder for the clients to leave because of the relationship. Just to keep that in mind. That's not to say that you shouldn't be trying to get better and better results, but it's just to say that the relationship is really important aspect of the whole business. Because at the end of the day, like when you're running an agency, it is a people business, and your relationship is everything. Right? So that's pretty much what we do there. Okay. Now when it comes to the other calls that we have multiple different calls here that you can see on the screen. We can dive into a few of these. So for example, the different situations that may happen on these check-in calls or extra calls that they do, they may be ad spend increasing calls, meaning the client's campaigns when it comes to the lead flow and all that stuff is always all the KPIs, the averages that we have, but we see that that's because of the locations they are in, etc., etc., then we can have a conversation with them about increasing ad spend to get more leads, right? Then there's scaling calls in terms of like, okay, how can I, the client wanting to scale, so we're having a conversation about scaling the ad spend, scaling the production, right? There are early renewal calls. So like, let's say, for example, when it comes to us, most of our clients are in 6-month contracts. So we may renew them early, meaning we may renew them to 12-month, 24-month contracts on month 3, 4, or 5. So before the actual contract ends. And that way, those just obviously increase our retention, increases our overall lifetime value of the customer. But also it gives bonuses for the clients. So those are win-win situations. There are upsell calls, upselling more things. For example, on our end, we upsell voice AI agents, we upsell buyer lead gen, because most of that we do with clients is seller lead gen, right? Upsell the extra locations, all that stuff. There are mid-contract retention calls, which is simply cancellation calls that someone is wanting to cancel before their contract is coming to an end. Then there are exit calls, someone is wanting to cancel after their contract has already ended, right? Then there are guarantee calls. If you offer any type of guarantees for the clients, you may need to have calls with them in terms of like them, if it's a conditional guarantee like ours is, like if they hit it or didn't hit the conditions and what that really means for the client. So calls like that may happen. Then there's graduation calls, which are just renewal calls after the first 6 months, right? Then there are accountability calls. When it comes to, keeping clients accountable, they are not following your system. They are not following the process to a T, right? So you need to keep them accountable as a CSM to make sure that they are getting the results they want. There are process knowledge calls, meaning they don't really understand the process, that you need to get them to understand when it comes to the lead conversion process, when it comes to whatever process, and you need to help them to understand that in order to get better results. And that's kind of what we have. And then obviously client spotlight interviews. Clients are seeing massive amounts of great results and really happy. We want to show that to other clients of ours so that they can also see how to get those similar results. Plus then also we can use that as a marketing to show case studies and social proof. The way how we really do this when it comes to the systems that we run to manage these clients, we use ClickUp with everything. So we use ClickUp Chat, we use ClickUp Spaces and tasks management and all those different things for task management, client management, project management, communication internally, and all those different things. So for example, here, closer submits a deal close form. And once they do that, the information goes to a master onboarding desk for our onboarding specialist, where we can see like all the new clients, client builds. Once clients are built, we put them in here. So like the person who's building the campaigns will actually update them in here to get so that then updates it into client build. We have a pending launch. So we're waiting on something to go live. We have let's launch, so that triggers information to team like media buyers and all the stuff to actually go live with the campaigns. And then we have completed the client live, right? So this is how we handle our clients when they are going through onboarding inside of the master onboarding desk. Now, key here, let me actually get back to this in a second, but nevertheless, once we then on the day-to-day client management, we have master client dashboard. So we handle everything in here when it comes to clients, right? So you can see here's example clients, client name, contract end date, monthly checking call date, and the CSM always updates that. We have the assignees, so media buyer, CSM, and all this stuff. We have the program they're in, campaign if it's live, a couple different information about that, media buyer, client success manager, partner risk monitor, 7-day CPL, and that stuff, that we're monitoring everything inside of the MCD. So MCD, aka Master Client Dashboard. Also, inside of when we click on this open, we can see the information and we communicate about that client inside of it. So all the checking call notes, all the media buying optimization notes, all that stuff is inside of that client file. And then you can see there's multiple different statuses. So all the different client escalations, all that stuff. On the fence, let's offboard it, and that stuff we manage inside of the same exact master client dashboard. Now, here's a key to understand. So when our closer submits the deal close form, the information goes into master onboarding desk, but then also it's not here right now, but when a client submits a campaign survey, then that information from the survey actually goes into and builds their master client dashboard file like this. And then these two desks are actually synced with each other. So there's a two-way sync. So whatever we do in the MCD, which is the master client day-to-day dashboard, and what we do the MOD, they sync with each other. So now once the information comes in here, after the client has submitted the campaign survey, the person who is building up the campaigns, who's customizing the sub accounts and all that stuff, they simply just update this Facebook campaign status from building to builds to the next step, etc., etc., and that then triggers these other things inside of the MOD that then gives information to our onboarding specialist, and they can keep track of things. And once they update here, let's launch, it updates in the MCD and informs, the media buyers and all that stuff. So like these two boards or dashboards communicate with each other. And that's how we communicate when it comes to our onboarding and day-to-day, right? So everything when it comes to onboarding happens inside of here. Everything day-to-day happens inside of here. And then our builder, so the person who's building the campaigns and stuff, just updates one thing, which is the campaign status. And then that gives tasks and checklists to the team members who need to do something, right? Plus then updates the MOD. So that's in a nutshell how we are managing over 200 active clients, done for your clients when it comes to the one-on-one support element. So we have the onboarding calls, then we have the monthly checking calls, and then we have multiple different scenarios that can happen or situations that can happen on those calls. And then based off of that, the CSM have different frameworks that they can follow. Let me show another thing real quick here. Let me go in here and just show you guys that, for example, these we have the welcome calls, all that stuff, and then we have multiple other different situations. This is probably an old documentation because it says new and ready. Let me actually update that link to the thing here, but nevertheless, these actually aren't new. They have been in the works for a long time already, so this is probably an old doc. Nevertheless, we have multiple different situations that may happen. We also have like objection handling documentations for the CSMs. So for example, if client says, these leads suck, or these leads aren't qualified, these ads don't work, I want to try something else, leads are down, leads are low quality, etc., etc. We have all the different handling or the scripting in terms of how a CSM can handle those situations. But that's pretty much it. If you have any questions, drop in the comments and I'll help you out. Have a good one. Ciao.